What's up, guys? It's Primetime Poulton. With me, Pegleg McMahon. This is the Assassins Guild. We have special guest Clint Hilinski with us. Clint, man, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, for those that don't know, living under a rock, Clint, the artist of SeaDog and Codename Killswitch, which is on Indiegogo right now. Mike's holding up the John Malin cover. There we go. I have them displayed behind me in my dark basement. Someone says it was serial killer lighting.
Just about.
But yeah, the campaign's going really great. Clint, what are your thoughts on the second campaign for us?
Oh no, I mean pace-wise, it's terrific. We're blowing away the pace of book one. You know, with each project, you want to just kind of, you know, see that hopefully you're gaining an audience. Like, we're almost at 100 backers. I think we were at 98 when I last checked. We hit 6,000 in like 4 or 5 days. And just compare, I mean, you compare everything against the first campaign. I don't think we got to that until like second week or maybe even into the third week. So
yeah,
so pace-wise, we're off to a great, fantastic start. So the main thing is just, you know, keep, you know, promoting the book and getting the word out there to as many people as possible, obviously. So yeah, real happy with the nice start we've gotten.
Yeah, no, I was nervous. I know everyone says with the second campaign you do better, but I feel like that was before there were so many people getting into the Indiegogo crowdfunded thing.
There's a ton of competition, no doubt about it.
Yeah. I know there was a big stink recently. The Power Boom Studios has a Power Rangers Kickstarter going, and a bunch of comic creators are losing their minds about it.
Oh, I haven't even seen this yet.
Yeah, they're putting out a series of 6 hardcovers collecting the whole Power Rangers series that they've released so far, and there's a bunch of creators pissed off saying that it's taking away from their campaigns, and it's not. Like, the people who are buying those Power Ranger books aren't buying.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a specific audience. They're there for Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And other creators weren't going to pick them up just by chance.
Yeah. And it'd be different if it was new material. They're just basically trying to fund the collecting of it.
Yeah.
The work's already done.
They're using printed material already.
Yeah.
Is it raising that much money then?
Yeah, they're raising a ton of money. I don't know the exact numbers, but yeah, they're killing it.
That's so bizarre. I think what Boom has realized, well, especially with the Keanu thing that they did, is like there's 2 different audiences. There's the audience that like funds Kickstarters and Indiegogo campaigns is not the audience that necessarily shows up on Wednesday at the comic shop.
Yeah,
and it's like there's a whole other revenue stream there.
Yep, absolutely.
I want to give a shout out to our buddy Sean, nicknamed Best Friend Sean, my best friend. Hey guys, when can we get a USAssassin versus team up with SeaDog and Codename Killswitch? Would be cool to see Mike and Clint and vice versa.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Be really cool to do it like Image United style.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I just wish we had come up with a longer name for our book.
I know.
Like, we should have thrown a few more things in there, because typing out SeaDog and Codename Killswitch every time in a Twitter blast is just a bitch.
Yeah.
So I just have it in the has a hashtag, and that way it doesn't eat up a whole lot of characters.
See, and like literally, I know that means something on Twitter, but I don't necessarily know what that means and how it works.
Yeah. So, Clint, tonight I thought we'd talk about your career in comics. But first, Mike and I are going to do a little USAssassin plugging, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, go for it. In fact,
all right.
I'm going to refresh this, and I'll be right back while you guys plug. Not that I don't want to hear it.
All right, no problem. So, everyone, the ash cans still up on the Etsy store. About halfway sold out of them. Thank you for everyone who's bought copies so far. And all our USAssassin books are still in demand on Indiegogo. I'm fulfilling the orders next day, so make sure you get them if you haven't yet. And most importantly, make sure you sign up for the USAssassin 3 mailing list. We're a top coming soon book on Indiegogo for 2 weeks. Yep. Very proud of that. Took Kenneth Rocafort to knock us out. And I'm very proud of this video we're about to play. So let's add it to the stream.
I'm the mercenary, Flip Gordon. And I'm joining the USAssassin's team.
Yeah, this is USAssassin. They bout the action, ready to make it happen. Yeah, this is the elite government task force. Whole team is official. What more could you ask for? Yeah, this is USAssassin. You don't want drama. If they pull up, they blasting. Monsters of the graveyard shift. You ain't never seen a squad quite like this. We got Bazooka Dog, and he don't cut no slack. A dog with a giant bazooka on his back. Sliver is a reptilian, alien. 3 snakes for a tongue. You don't want to mess with him. Sensei Steel, who is so mysterious, martial artists and trainers. With the kids, Zero Face is a bad guy turned good. The mercenary is a beast, get it understood. Takeout is a fast shooter, fast draw. Kirby is the Lone Ranger, but she hits hard. Lieutenant Rafe, second in command. Yes, indeed. Who's the brains of the team? A super ninja at the lead. Yeah, hey, this is USAssassin. Yeah, this is USAssassin. Let's go.
Yeah. I love that.
Make sure you sign up for the USAssassin 3 mailing list if you haven't yet. We're going to be launching in the spring. And for those that already have the Ash Can, it's going to be awesome. So make sure you sign up. Clint, so is this your 25th year in the industry, or actually a little longer? I'm looking up your credits, and I think like 95, 94, something like that.
I would say real professional stuff that I claimed was probably 97, 98. I did probably some real indie, like black and white stuff. Maybe in 95, 96, but like I really don't count that stuff. Like the first stuff I did, and I did stuff for Dark Horse, stuff for Young stuff in 97. So I would say 97 was what for sure. It was John stuff for real. So
hey, Clint, it's getting real hard to understand you.
Always nice.
Mike, are you able to hear Clint?
It sounds like he's talking through a sock.
I'm not sure what happened. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, maybe you just need to be closer to the mic. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. It was working earlier.
Yeah, now I can hear you fine.
Okay, I'll just lean in, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Well, somebody was complaining about my microphone on a show.
Rob Arnold, he's he hates your mic.
All over me. So I actually ordered a new microphone over Amazon, but that'll be a day or two away, I would say. So 97 is probably, my real first year that I count. Yep, exactly. So that year, actually, I worked for Dark Horse and I worked for Liefeld, and I drew some Youngblood stuff. So 23, I guess 24 years if you count 2021 now. So, and I've kicked around a bunch for a whole bunch of different publishers.
I think the first time I noticed you was Hyperactives by Alias Comics.
Yeah.
Was that Mike? That's Mike Miller's company, wasn't it?
Yep, that was Mike. I dealt that. Mike was the main guy I was dealing with on that. And that actually, that was a fun gig. That was the creator. I was working with a writer. It was his first time in comics, and he wanted to do this comic, and he had an idea. So me and him developed the idea more, and then I think Mike had worked at Devil's Due while I was at Devil's Due, and then he had just started Alias, his own kind of publishing company. He had like a partner in it or something, but Mike was the front guy. So I contacted Mike about publishing the book through him, and that was what Hyperactive ended up being. That was a fun gig. That was a fun book to work on. We kind of did kind of an Image Teen Titans type thing, but I think the premise was, I mean, it's like current with today. They were like all social media stars that were more interested in their Twitter and Instagram than they were in being superheroes. They were just like following their fame, basically. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember when that came out. It came out around the same time as one of the Crisis books by DC, and I know there was a lot of homage covers.
Yep, I did the Michael Turner homage cover on that. Homage covers are always good to just grab attention from fans because seeing something they recognize, boom, they at least want to look and see what it is. So it's kind of a cheap tactic to get attention, but
no, I'm a fan. They work.
Yeah.
Throw a John Byrne Fantastic Four and Superman cover where Superman's holding up I think it was the Legion of Superheroes, but in the Fantastic Four one, it's Gladiator holding up the Thing. That cover. Throw an homage cover on that, and like people are just, comic fans are gonna be like, "Oh, what's this? John Byrne? What the heck?"
Yeah.
I've used that one a few times now.
And you mentioned you worked at Devil's Due. You did some G.I. Joe there, didn't you?
A little bit of G.I. Joe. I did some covers for G.I. Joe, which was really cool. My main gig there was on Voltron. I think I was on Voltron for like 2.5 years for almost the entire run.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then I worked with, I forget his name right now, the main guy, the guy that started the company.
Oh, Josh.
Josh. Yep. Josh. On his creator-owned book. I'm not going to remember.
Mercy Sparks?
Yep. Was it no, not Mercy Sparks. It was pre-Mercy Sparks. Yeah, it was his first one that he did. He was drawing it, but like I was kind of like, doing a lot of the background, a lot of the like just kind of art chores and stuff to just get the book done on it. So, but those were good gigs. Devil's Due was a lot of fun. Like Josh hit the lottery with the G.I. Joe license when nobody knew about it, and I was buddies with Tim Seeley and Steve Kurth, and Steve Kurth was the first artist when they launched G.I. Joe, and then I think Seeley worked on it later and might have wrote it for a while. But we were all Minnesota and Wisconsin guys, and we were working at a different studio. It was a real small press, and then somehow I think Tim, I don't remember how it worked out. Tim got in with Josh. They knew each other from cons. Like when Josh had the G.I. Joe license, like he didn't know that much about comics, so they kind of worked out the logistics of starting the comic book company. And Kurth drew the first issue of G.I. Joe. I mean, it just blew up. I mean, I think they sold 77,000 copies like their first month before reprints or anything. And I mean, I think it was like a $3.99 book, so you're getting like probably over $2 back on that as the publisher.
Yeah.
So like all of a sudden there was like $150,000 coming in revenue for 1 month of a comic book. So yeah, it skyrocketed.
Yeah,
but it was cool seeing behind the scenes stuff there.
Yeah, G.I. Joe's my favorite comic. It's what got me into comics. So when it disappeared from Marvel, I mean, Dark Horse had it for like a little bit, but the Dark Horse was kind of terrible because it didn't even follow like the Marvel comic. So when Devil's Due started putting it out, first through Image, it was awesome because it picked up right after the Marvel continuity, and I actually like the Devils Do stuff better than the Marvel stuff. I just feel like it was really underrated. I thought the artwork was better, coloring better, and just storylines. But yeah, that was a good time.
They were fans. Like they knew what the fans wanted and what they liked. And it had sat long enough where people had kind of forgotten about it a little bit, but there was still just tons of G.I. Joe fans out there.
Yeah.
And then, they brought it back the right way to give the fan. I mean, they played up to what the fans really liked. And, it was really cool.
So after the stuff at Alias, was Arcana next for you?
Man, you're going to test my memory of like about 15 years of bouncing from company to company.
I know you did a lot of stuff with Avatar too.
Yeah, I was with like Avatar and Devil's Due was probably the two companies I worked with the longest and did the most stuff for, and they actually overlapped probably quite a bit. Those were the heydays where I was working for two companies, so I was like checks were showing up often enough where I didn't get evicted, so that was always nice.
That helps.
But I would say Devil's Due and Avatar, and then like Arcana was kind of towards the end of that. And I mean, I might have been working for all three of them at the same time, but I met Sean O'Reilly at, I think, Wizard World Chicago, where mostly I met everybody that I knew. Back in those days, Wizard World was, if you were in the Midwest, Wizard World Chicago was like, that was the place to meet and greet everybody if you wanted to work in comics. So
yeah,
and he had the Cade book. That was his main thing. Like it was all Cade all the time. And I ended up working on some Cade stuff for him. And then I'm trying to remember because Greatest American Hero and like I worked on Kiss there. But I think that was starting to overlap with like Platinum Comics. Was that? Did you ever deal or do any of the stuff with when he was working at Platinum?
I didn't work for Platinum, but like the Kiss stuff was published through them, and like I had to like help with files and stuff like that. So
okay, yeah, and that's I think I did a couple issues of Kiss, and as it was transition. I don't think that series lasted very long. Platinum was like. It kind of seemed like it came and went really fast and turned into something else. But like I think that's Scott Rosenberg.
Yeah.
And like I met Scott and he's a really nice guy. But like I didn't realize like he had the Youngblood license or like when it started coming out when Youngblood was being licensed to whoever that guy is who has it now.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people didn't even realize that Rob didn't have it anymore. And I think it was Scott Rosenberg who had it. And I don't even know where the license is now, if it was like sold or it's just being, but it's like those circles of people kind of like come back on each other. Like I worked for Rob and then worked for Sean and then Sean worked for Scott and then Scott's got the license of Young. It was a weird cyclical thing of working for these different people, but finding out these circles are small. It's a small comic book world. So,
yeah, I think Scott had like Youngblood Supreme. Maybe that's it. Those two, and all like the characters that tie into those books. But yeah, even back then, he advertised it on his website that he owned that IP, which. I don't know. It was always weird, but
it did seem weird because like a lot of people didn't even know it. I think a lot of people just assumed Rob still had all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then once whoever this new guy is that got him, then it like kind of hit the news waves and people realized that it wasn't Rob's anymore. I mean, not that it really matters. I mean, doesn't seem like they're doing anything with it right now.
They're ripping off a lot of artists is what they're doing.
I've seen some of the stories online, and I mean, it's.
No, that guy wanted. He wanted me to write. He wanted me to write Youngblood. Well, a version of Youngblood, like a young, basically blood pool, which they grow up to be. They're like the young recruits of Youngblood. and the guy he had working for him said, "Oh man, you whatever you want, whatever, name your price." So I named my price, and the guy, I can't even think of his name now, but he was like, "Oh, we don't do page rates."
Was it Andrew?
Oh yeah, Andrew Rev, and Andrew was like, "Oh, we don't do page rates," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not interested then."
Yeah, they wanted me to do a Die Hard series, and I was like, "Nope,
yeah,
not touching that."
But no, apparently they were following what everyone in Comicsgate was doing, and they were they wanted to get in on it.
Yeah, it's none of it looks good now. I mean, there's just people that did art, and I don't know. You hear the stories online, and it's just like none of it sounds good.
No.
But yeah, that was when I was doing Kiss. That's when I was doing then Greatest American Hero. And that all came out through Arcana. And I mean that was a cool gig because I was a fan of the show as like a little kid. So getting to draw the comic book was a lot of fun. I remember I like sent pages of art to William Catt, or Sean did, or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like William Catt was like, it was one of those classic Hollywood things where like I think he thought like the comic book would bring back like a movie deal or something.
Yeah.
And he would be in on that deal. So like he was super nitpicky about, it was like in the TV show he had this big mop of curly hair. It was kind of his signature look, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I scoured pictures and the DVDs, and like I knew these were Hollywood actors, and like whoever must have been Sean is like, yeah, make the likenesses. And I'm like, I'm good with likenesses, so I made them look just like the show and everything. And so I get these notes back from William Catt. Like literally, William Catt was emailing me from his personal email. Like, this is so weird. But he must have, on the show, he must have hated that big mop of hair. Like, he hated it.
Yeah.
So he was like, this is current day. Like, there's no way my hair would look like that anymore. He's like, and like I had drawn like 10 pages of making it look just like him. He's like, give me a modern haircut and make it look like it's supposed to, or make it look more modern. I'm like, good God, now I gotta go back over and change all of his hairdo, like 10 pages. Like, and then there was the big thing in that day was all the Obama covers. Remember Obama?
Oh yeah. And
this was right then. So of course we had to have Obama and the Greatest American Hero. So I drew him, and he's like, President Obama is like 6 foot whatever, and I'm like 5'11" or 5'10", and I wouldn't be taller than. I'm like, like he was slightly taller than Obama, and I'm like,
yeah, but he's also a superhero. Supposed to be.
You're the superhero. And just like there was a lot of nitpicky stuff, and it was just like, you scratch your head and like what some of these people are thinking. It's like, and also it's like, okay, this is dealing with William Catt always made me think of, if you're like on a TV show at some point, you're an actor, and it's a successful TV show for like a short amount of time or whatever, and then that TV show ends. Like, what do you do with the rest of your life? Because it's like, you go get a job at like Home Depot, or like, it's like you need to work for the rest of your life, because I don't know what residuals are on TV shows, but can you like live on them off of a show that was on for like 3 or 4 seasons in the 80s? And then it's like,
you don't get that till after 5 years.
And yeah, exactly.
Like a show has to be on for 5 years to get that kind of money.
Oh yeah, like needs to be able to put in a syndication or whatever, so they can get the extra revenue or whatever. So it's like, I mean, there's a lot of ego involved with these actors, I'm sure. So it's like, when your career's over and you're like 38 or something, it's like, what do you do for the next decade plus to earn an income? And I mean, you can go to these conventions and stuff, but that's not enough to live off of. I don't know. I just always like thought, like, dealing with William Catt, I'm like, wonder what he's been doing for like the last 15 years. Like
Signing copies of House.
Yeah. Oh, he was in that too, wasn't he? I forgot about that. So yeah, just some of the thoughts that ran through my head in dealing with a minor celebrity when I got to draw the Greatest American Hero.
That San Diego Comic-Con where they appeared, it was him. Who's the older gentleman? Robert Culp?
Robert Culp, yep. And
Yeah.
then Connie Selleck was there also.
Yeah. Sean and we had to carry Robert Culp's duffel bag from the hotel to the convention center. That thing at least weighed over 100 pounds. And I'm like, what is in this? When we got to the booth, I opened it up. It was all his 8x10s.
Oh my God.
It was
because he's gonna sign hundreds of 8x10s.
Yeah. It was Sean and we had to like stop and take breaks because
I can imagine.
We're also like carrying cases of books on our shoulder. We each have an end of the duffel bag. It was one of the most memorable moments from San Diego Comic-Con for me.
I probably walked right by you at the booths and whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure we bumped into each other or even talked to each other, and I just probably don't even remember it.
Yeah, no, I mean that so much goes on that those weekends become a blur.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I mean, I can just imagine like the stacks of 8x10s, and then like sitting at the table. And I mean, there was like probably there was a huge crowd for the hall exhibit. Like people showed up for that, but like the table on the floor, you know how San Diego is. There's just a steady stream of like people walking by.
Yeah.
Like one will stop to gawk at something, but there wasn't like there was like a huge crowd to like get signed Robert Culp. Oh boy, that's funny. All I remember was the Connie Selleck was still lovely, and she was as nice as the day is long. She was very, very pleasant woman.
Yeah,
I can see why she was so successful with her career.
Yeah, my wife loved that signing. She had the biggest crush on William Cat back in the day, and she told him, and she was like,
he
loved it. He was like, you are so lovely.
I mean, I shouldn't pick on William Cat because he was fine. He was very pleasant to me, but there was just like he wanted the celebrity to go on. You know what I mean? He was enjoying people recognizing him. I remember like he was done up to the nines in his clothes. Like his clothes were just kind of immaculate, and like he really wanted, he was waiting for that next thing to pop up.
Yeah. Over the years, Arcana had some pretty big guests at their booth. One year I got chewed out by Thomas Jane, who appeared at her booth.
I've heard Thomas Jane stories online at conventions.
Yeah.
Like for a guy who's sort of been in a bunch of stuff, he kind of has a real big, from what I've heard, kind of a big ego.
Yeah. We were working with this magazine company, publishing a pop culture magazine. And the magazine company set up a signing for him at our booth, and they didn't advertise it. So no one showed up, and he was like pissed off about it.
Oh, I'm sure he's a big star.
And he wanted to know who was in charge. Well, Sean wasn't there, and the magazine people sort of like took a step back. And one of my friends, Dex, who I worked on Coney Waves with, he just like turned and looked at me, and Thomas Jane like noticed that and started ripping into me, saying that I needed to promote his signing better, and he was telling me what I had to do, and I was like, I'm sorry, we didn't have much time, we didn't know about this until like earlier today that it was going to happen. And he was like, still, you find someone at the convention and you tell them and they'll announce it that I'm here. And then he started talking about his comic book company and how he runs it. I was like, I'm sorry, you can leave if you want.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we've all sat at con tables, and it's never a good feeling when you're sitting there and nobody's like looking at your stuff, and you're just a comic book creator. So imagine like when you've been in Hollywood and if you've been in major motion pictures, and then you sit at a convention table and nobody even comes over to look at your stuff. So I get it, but also like chewing somebody out is not fix it.
So he went back over to his booth. He had I forget the name of his company, but he did some books with like Steve Niles and Tim Bradstreet. And we told one of my friends the story about Thomas Jane chewing me out. So he went over to Thomas Jane's booth and there was no one there. And he was like, "Oh my God, are you Thomas Jane?" And the guy Thomas Jane just like nodded his head and he goes, "Oh, I would have think there'd be a big crowd for you."
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
He's been in a ton of stuff, but you never look at him and think there's a big celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure how he keeps getting roles. And I mean, he played the Punisher, so you'd think at a comic book convention people would be excited about that one thing at least, but
who knows? I really liked his Punisher movie. I thought it was good.
I never saw that one. I've never seen any of the Punisher movies, actually.
Oh, really? Well, I actually like all of them, even the Dolph Lundgren ones.
That's probably the one I've seen the most.
Yeah, they all have their good points.
So, Mike, Clint was talking about likenesses. Now you're drawing likenesses. Are you going to be with? Now that we have, we signed the mercenary Flip Gordon. Are you comfortable with that, or?
As long as it's just him.
Yeah. We might have another one for book 4. I don't know.
That's true. That's true. But that'll be fine because that'll be an honor.
Let me help you out a little bit. Lightbox.
Yeah, I'm pretty good about eyeballing stuff. It's just there was a point in like the early 2000s when like Brian Hitch was real big, and I tried to do everything from like magazines and photos, and I spent more time searching for the perfect picture than I did drawing, and it was annoying as all get out. But now I'm 20 years older.
Let me give you another pro tip. Google search images.
Yeah. Well, that's why I have his pictures on my phone, so that way I can just hold it up to my artboard and be like, "Hey, there we go."
Yeah, last year I did Stargate Universe, and the reason they hired me because I had sent them some Stargate samples, and with the license stuff, and Mark, you know this because you guys dealt with a bunch of license stuff. Sometimes these studios, depending on who the person is at the studio that you're trying to get stuff approved by, like this girl that worked at MGM for Stargate, she was a nightmare. Like she wasn't approving anything. Like she was like, I mean, like they had some cartoony artists, and it was like, this doesn't look like the actor. Well, it's like a cartoony style. They're not trying to do like photorealistic stuff. So I had sent them some photorealistic samples because I actually knew one of the guys that worked there from Avatar, and he's like, here, do a couple sample pages, and so I got on Stargate Universe, and it was just nothing but like talking heads and likenesses.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was like, it was 22 pages of talking heads and likenesses. So it was,
oh wow,
lightbox. But even then, it would be like little like, well, the eyes here are like, this person was crazy, and it's like, this is a comic book. This isn't like the movie. These aren't the actual people. So I mean, the publishers were happy with my work, but this woman made their lives a living nightmare trying to get stuff approved for them. So yeah, likenesses can be good or bad. I mean, yeah, Brian Hitch showed a lot of people the way to use photo reference and light boxes, but it's a little bit of a crutch. But if you like work it the right way, it can look nice. But if you rely on it too much, then it can like become stale. So you kind of have to use it the right way, I think.
Yeah. I decided I like a comic book style, not a because it doesn't have as much. I mean, it looks nice, but you can't have the kind of punch that just like a comic book style can have with realistic style, because nobody's built like that. There are no photos for that, you know?
Yeah.
And I just much rather make it up as I go.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Well, and then the thing is if you get like, if you're using like that likeness on one character, then you're doing the rest of the book kind of a little bit more, you know, comic booky. Like every time that is going to like stick out. So you're better off just going with the freehand likeness of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my dad was a good caricaturist. He never really did anything with it, but he had always told me you find one feature on the face that will make that person recognizable. And I think I've got it for Flip. He's got kind of looks like his nose has been broken a few times. So as long as I do get that right, the beard right, the hair right, I think it's all gonna work out.
That's how I started out. That was my first drawing gig was character art. I think there's quite a few comic artists out there that start out as character artists that like using parts and stuff.
Sorry, Mike, I had to mute you for a second. You're so Clint, when did you discover Comicsgate? Was it just through the Graveyard Shift campaign?
I knew about it before then. Like I like see people talk about it online, Facebook, or you know, Bleeding Cool, or you know, some story about Ethan or something like that. Then the whole when your boy Zach and Mark Wade, when that whole whatever that was started, that's when it really kind of permeated a lot of comic book websites.
Yeah.
So that was probably when I first like really heard about it and started learning a little bit about it. I'd done a couple Kickstarters, but like I would do research on like other projects, what other people were doing. You know, you just kind of want to learn more, see what successful campaigns are working. And I think at that point, that's where I came across your name on Graveyard Shift on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
And, you know, then I was like, oh, yeah, Mark from Arcana, like, we did some stuff. Maybe he'll remember me, you know. And it was like the success of Graveyard Shift. It was like, wow. Like, even just talking, you know, dropping you an email and seeing what you guys are doing, you always want to kind of pick information from other creators' brains, you know. Like, there's always that behind the scenes gossip network of like artists and writers kind of like, you know, hey, sell your art on this website, or, you know, this kind of, you know, this and that kind of thing. There's always information going on. So I figured I'd drop you a line, and thankfully you remembered me. And as they say, the rest was history. I mean, I was very happy with the way book one went. I mean, it was fun working with you. We kind of meshed story-wise well. And I mean, the end result, I love that first book. I mean, I love the way it looks and everything. So it was a lot of fun. And I mean, book two, it just kind of seems to be like, my memory is always a little bit of Swiss cheese, but I don't think we were at where we are now until close to the third week.
No, you're right. Yeah, it took us a long time to get there. I think by the end of the first 30 days, we were at around 8,000.
Yeah, that's kind of what I remember. And then we like, you know, I remember getting to 12 at the that 60 days was a big deal for us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is outpacing that. I mean, and Pirate Queen did really good with Mandy, and we ended at 22. But we weren't at this pace. We weren't even close to this pace. So I got my fingers crossed that we can keep building on the interest and excitement and getting the word out there. And I mean, doing as many shows, like shows are the lifeblood of Comicsgate and Indiegogo. So the more we can do, the more fans we can. I mean, it's basically just getting people to know about it, because it seems like once they get to know about it, they're interested in. But it's just about spreading the word. But yeah, I'm stoked with how this campaign's going. I have my fingers crossed that we're going to kind of blow those old numbers out of the water.
Yeah, I think so. You were talking about how happy you were with the first book. When the actual books came in, it was a weird time because all the graveyard shift books came in for the second campaign. The USAssassin came in, so I had all these books that I produced come in at one time. And honestly, I thought SeaDog was just as good as any of the other books. Like I was really proud of how that book turned out. I thought it was great.
Yeah, me too. It was for me. Sorry, frog in my throat. For me as an artist, the great thing about this has been we're crowdfunding enough money where I can take my time on these pages, and I don't have to just rush and crank them out. Like 90s art is all about the detail and the cross hatching and the rendering and the action and all that stuff, and being able to spend that time on each page, because I mean it takes a lot of time to get through every page and put that much detail in. But this allows me to do that and still pay my bills and not be under the constant pressure with finances. So that part of it has been great for me, to allow me to like really kind of stretch my legs as an artist and put in all the kind of work that I want to just make the book look as great as I possibly can. So that's probably been the biggest thing for me since we come into Comicsgate and launching on Indiegogo.
Yeah. While we're talking about SeaDog, I'll bring up the second campaign.
Sure.
So I've said it a million times on the shows that we've done, but you and Andrew are just like a fantastic team. How did you discover Andrew?
If I would have been thinking, I would have tried to get Andrew on here tonight. We can do another show and schedule it so Andrew can come on. Just go ahead, so I can.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So I can give him a hard time. That's mostly what me and Andrew do nowadays. Is just mostly just give each other a hard time. Me and Andrew have only met one time in person, but I've known Andrew for 20 years now, at least. And I'm trying to think what I was working on when I met him.
Looking forward to it, Sean.
There we go. But Andrew had seen my work somewhere. I'm going to have to ask him like how we contacted each other. Because again, my memory is it's always been terrible. But like literally it was online. He had seen my work on something. I think he had contacted me about drawing something for him that he would write in color. And then we kind of went back and forth on that. And then it just kind of, always like what project. I think I got him on some Avatar work. I think he started coloring some Avatar stuff while I was working at Avatar. And then it was kind of this back and forth of like, he would get a job at a publisher and he'd be like, oh, you should contact this editor because he's looking for somebody. And then I'd get a gig and I'd be working on something. I'd be like, oh yeah, here's the editor at this publisher, contact them. They're looking for colorists. And it was kind of this mutual, like also being friends, but also like mutually just getting each other jobs back and forth for many years. So, and then we'd end up working on stuff at the same publisher, or both be working at different publishers, and then you want to know all the information behind the scenes of that publisher, what editors are good people to talk to. So it was networking and friendship, and doing comics together. Like he colored the hyperactive stuff that you were talking about earlier, and I mean, like his colors have always been awesome. Like he makes my stuff look great, so it was always like a no-brainer if I have any choice of colors, put Andrew on there. So
yeah,
just kind of grew from that.
Yeah, no, I was so impressed with his work on SeaDog. He ended up coloring USAssassin 1 for us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then he colored the Nightwalker story for the new Graveyard Shift supplemental book that's coming out. Plus, when he saw the first piece of Viking Wolf art, he emailed me and said, "Who's coloring that? I want to." And I was like, "All right, you're hired."
that sounds like Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this page right here, this one's my favorite. I feel like, how can you not look at this page and not want to buy this book? It's such an awesome page.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's his coloring, his lighting. Like he adds that kind of action and flair to what I'm trying to capture, and then he takes it the rest of the way. So, yeah, it's always nice when he's coloring my stuff, because it makes my stuff look that much better, and I know I'm going to be getting like the best colors on my stuff, and the final results are going to be the way that I'm going to be happy with. So yeah, it's worked out good throughout the years.
So this villain right here, this was one that you came up with. Do you have a name for her yet?
Right now it's Red Raven.
Okay. No, I like that.
That's flexible.
Yeah.
There's I'm thinking of tweaking. You get the Soldier 7 little like flashback.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of tweaking that a little bit. And that's where I think we could add some more hot chicks.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And plus, like, I really want a little spot for Crotch Rocket, because I think given a little air to breathe, like Crotch Rocket could become, a fun, more fun character than he's had a chance to. Not that I don't like Soldier 7, but he's like, he's your Captain America.
Right.
So I'm, and we'll talk, and we can talk right now. I don't care, but I was thinking of adjusting the and I know you like the Soldier 7, or was it vodka, Russian vodka, or
Blood and Vodka? Yeah.
Blood and Vodka, yeah. And I still like that idea, but I was thinking of tweaking a couple of those pages just to kind of add some stuff. So this might be like something there, but we can talk outside. Yeah. I'll send you some ideas.
Yeah,
but it'll just be that segue into the chase down to Chikari.
Yeah. No, you should know by now. I'm probably like the easiest going
dude, and
writer.
I love it. I appreciate it, because like sometimes I just draw. Well, I'll draw some pages that I think will sell the book that aren't necessarily in the script. Like, shockingly, this page has like a full page spread of a chick with her ass.
No, and people are fans of it, so it works.
Yeah, it seemed popular, so like I know what the Comicsgate audience is looking for. I want to make sure they get it with our book.
So you're actually working on our first stretch goal print right now, aren't you?
Yeah. In fact, I think I can share a page.
Sure.
Let me try and.
Okay.
So let me share screen.
Yeah, Mike asks all the time if he can change something. I say, as long as the pages line up for like double page spreads, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, exactly. Double page spreads. Does that show up then?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So yeah, these are just the flats right now, but this will be the print for the first stretch goal of Neon, the bikini edition Neon. So I was actually pretending like I was going to color this thing, but I don't know that I can really talk and do actual real work. Here, let's see it. Since her outfit is supposed to be blue. So that's actually, it looks like I'm coloring something there. The trick to coloring is you just put down every one of these flats and then you add white to it for highlights. Like all colorists try to make things sound so hard, but it's really pretty easy. So yeah, there's and then you just go and you highlight everything. Well, look at those highlights in her lips there. Now she looks more three-dimensional. So that there I showed everybody the trick to coloring.
So I think these prints are going to be popular. I did see our one guy Rick. He keeps asking for stickers.
Oh yeah, and Rick is always like our first backpacker.
Yeah. I actually have a SeaDog sticker. I might just throw it in his package just to.
Well, you deal with the logistics way more than I do. I'm not even sure. Like do printers do stickers, and are those like?
Oh yeah, like I use a sticker app to print stickers. They're a cheap thing to get made.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if the logistics work out, I mean, it would be cool to see a crotch rocket sticker and
oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Like the specific like design where like the body fits on like a circle or something with just just to make it work out best. But that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, no, the sticker app I use, they do the die cut, so you can get the figure cut out. It's not that expensive at all.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the other thought I had the other night, just because I needed a new calendar, is calendars with art. I don't know if people would be super interested, but like everybody uses calendars still. So,
yeah.
Just artwork from the books, and it's pretty easy to put together. And I think most print shops do calendars pretty simply.
Yeah.
So a thought I had.
Yeah, if you're out there in the chat, let us know if you would be into calendars.
Calendars, stickers, and all nude side story of Neon and Rebel.
Yeah. So let's go over the campaign. Our featured tier is the Triple Threat. That is your cover. The Dan Fraga cover, which we haven't talked about. That was awesome that we were able to get Dan to agree to do a cover for us.
Definitely.
And so stoked that he was able to provide a layout for us right before our launch. So,
yeah, that was great that he did that first, because I know I know he's busy with his stuff, so that he did that was really terrific.
Yeah, no, he's not only working on Black Flag, but doing storyboards. Busy guy. So
that's his main gig, isn't it? The storyboard stuff. So
yeah. So I wasn't even really counting on this. So when it showed up, like I think maybe an hour before our launch, I was like, oh wow. He messaged me and he was like, I just emailed you the layout, and I was like, oh, thank you so much.
No doubt.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome when he's finished, and Shelby Robertson's going to ink it, and Matt Yackey's going to color it, so it's going to look fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait to see that. That is going to be awesome. Definitely.
And then part of that triple threat is the line art variant of John's cover from book 1. I think John was pretty happy to see that we were using his cover again.
I know. I like that. I like that a lot. He was like, I've only started to get to know John just by being on like 1 or 2 shows with him, but like his sense of humor is very dry and very like. So it's like it was funny listening to him talk about that.
And then afterwards, after the featured tier, then we got for $25, you can get your cover, Clint, or Dan's cover or the book one variant if you're just a John Malin collector out there. And then for $50, we have the book two both covers, yours and Dan's. The fan pack for $125. Now, if you had signed up for our mailing list, this is where you got the secret discounted link. So you saved money. You saved $25 if you signed up for the mailing list. So when you see those mailing lists, man, sign up for them. I sign up for pretty much everyone because you never know. Maybe I'll change my mind. Even if it's something that I wasn't thinking of, I'll sign up for it just to cover my bases.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a great idea.
Yeah, but the fan pack comes with all three books and a sketch by you. And your sketches are fantastic. The ones you knocked out for the first campaign were great.
Yeah, this will probably be, like it'll be a full torso like that, so people will get like a real cool piece of art with it. So little original art with the books too is always kind of nice.
Yeah, and then $200, the Babe box. I was hoping to make one up. I'm going to try to make one before we go on the live stream tomorrow with Sean and Joe, so we can show it off. But yeah,
How do you do that?
Oh well, I print out the artwork.
And it slips in the case, kind of.
Yeah, I'll make myself full screen. Yeah, so this case right here. The artwork slides into the front and into the sides. Yeah, I've already had a bunch of people hit me up asking for my secrets, so I shared them.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
So
look at that. See, there your room lit up there when you did that, and you could see the row of books behind you. That's very cool.
It's weird. My my laptop decides when it needs to lighten and darken things up. It's very strange. I think I need to get one of those like lights that attach. I thought about getting one of those lights that attach to the top of the screen.
Yeah,
like one of those O lights. But then I'm thinking, will my laptop still like adjust it and make it dark? Because I don't know.
I'm figuring out all the logistics with you right there. It's like I've got to get the new microphone and stuff, and I've got a lamp behind my computer, and that's why my face looks so whited out. But at least then people can see. No doggy bag perk.
Well, originally the box, my first thought was a doggy treat box, but Clint brought me to my senses and said babes sell books more than dog treats. So yeah.
Well, we went heavy on the dog theme with the first book. So I thought, especially with Pirate Queen did pretty well, and like I think I plastered Pirate Queen's boobs about everywhere that I possibly could.
Yeah.
And that worked.
And you guys had the booty box here or something, pirate booty.
the pirate booty was popular. Let's just say it was popular. So that was and I mean the Babe boxes worked pretty well here. So
yeah, no complaints.
Lessons learned.
Yeah, we joked the next book is SeaDog and under boob.
Yeah, it'll just be Rebel and Neon on the cover and lots of under boob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you gotta give the fans what they want. I'm not here to not sell comics.
Yeah, no.
And so you can just see the difference because that's me coloring on that page, which not as good as Andrew's. It turned out okay, but like Andrew's stuff, like there's a noticeable difference there.
Yeah, John really liked this page though. He thought it should be a cover.
Well, it's a good pose with Rebel.
Yeah.
Rebel, I can't tell who's more popular because there'll be guys that love Rebel, and there'll be like guys like who's the blonde? There's like.
Oh, it's like Betty and Veronica all over.
You know what? Maybe we'll have to do like a Twitter survey. I'll do like a pinup of each, and it'll be like, vote for who gets whatever.
Well, the next book, Neon gets her own cover, Rebel gets her own cover, and that's how they decide.
Something interactive, because
Yeah.
fans always like to, have a little voice and things. So, see, I'm looking forward to. Andrew hasn't gotten there yet, and I didn't want to do it because the double page spreads turn out so small on the Indiegogo page. But this is the page that I'm looking forward to being colored. The double page spread. I spent just a little bit of time drawing that. That dragon took forever to draw. But I've got
Rebel has a Gen 13 vibe.
Yeah, I'm influenced by all that stuff. Gen 13 especially. She could have fit in on that team just fine.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, there's more stuff to do down the road. I'd like to rip off all the Wildstorm stuff that I possibly can at some point. I got no qualms anymore. And like the millennial fans that are coming up that are Comicsgate, they don't even realize you're ripping anybody off. They think it's all brand new stuff. So it's like, wow, who's this Gen 14 team that they're putting out? This is so cool.
Yeah, we'll introduce Gen 14 next volume.
Exactly. They can be another government strike force.
Yeah.
You can never have too many government strike forces.
So we're at the hour mark now. Clint, is there any thing you would like the fans to know about SeaDog and Codename Killswitch before we wrap it up?
I would just say that a lot of times you never know what's going to happen, and like your comic could get damaged. So whatever you're buying of, just to be on the safe side, you should buy 2 of, and then like bag one and put in a box and like never let it see the light of day, so you know it's protected. Then you just have that peace of mind, and then you have one out where that you can look at. So always buy 2 of everything, and then if you're super insecure, buy 3.
Yeah, there you go.
The more the better.
Just buy 2 Babe boxes to cover your bases.
Exactly. I think if you buy 2 Babe boxes, you're going to feel safe. Life will be good for you. Their faces and their cell phones. Exactly.
Yeah, that's Gen 14. Mike just wrote it. So, Clint, where can people find you at?
At Clint Hilinski on Twitter, and same with Facebook, just my name. I like, for a long time I didn't really use Twitter, and I like got on there for a little bit and just didn't get it because I'm old. And then I came back on with Comicsgate and realized Twitter is actually a much better vehicle for advertising comics than Facebook is.
Yeah.
But like I saw like all these people, and they had all these little nicknames and stuff, and it wasn't even like I was on so early. It was just like people just use their name. So I'm like, oh, I guess it's just at Clint Hilinski. It's pretty simple. So at Clint Hilinski, you can find me pretty easy.
Do you have a YouTube, Clint?
I do, but I haven't done much with it yet, unfortunately. Yeah. I know I need to, but there's so many YouTube channels that I'd rather just go on other people's YouTube channel. It's like the amount of time I spend drawing is literally the amount of time I'd have to spend on building my YouTube channel up. And it just, there's not enough hours in the day. So at some point, maybe I will try, but right now I'm happy with just drawing and going on a lot of other people's YouTube channels that have put in that time. That's why, being on your show, being on Mandy's show, jumping around to some of the different shows we have, I think as good as it would be having my own YouTube channel, not all of us can be as entertaining as Ethan. Like Ethan's got a knack. Ethan's got that kind of radio. Like I call him like the Rush Limbaugh comics. It's like he's got a real way of telling a story, going over like current news and pop culture and drawing you in, and that's not an easy thing to do. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not going to fool myself and think that I can just like start doing that. But maybe somewhere down the road, I'll kind of put more time and effort into it. But right now,
Yeah.
these books are successful. I'm happy with, the way things are going with you, the way Pirate Queen went. If I'm drawing, a SeaDog and Codename Killswitch book and a Pirate Queen book every year, maybe mix a little of my other stuff in, because I do have other books.
Uh-huh.
So, mix 3-4 books in a year, and they're doing the kind of success we're doing now. You will hear no complaints from me. This will be a very happy comic book artist over here.
Yeah, no, me from the writer side, I'm super happy with how everything's been going. If you had told me, my career, I would have, gotten to write at DC, work with my hero, and then afterwards, I just self-published. I was like, oh, I guess it kind of went down after those things. No, this is the best time of my my career. It's
Exactly.
it's like absolutely the best, making your own books with your own characters and actually being able to make money off it, which is really something I never even experienced. Even I guess a little bit with DC, but like all the other indie stuff, even like doing Evangeline at Image, there was really no no money there.
Yeah. No, I believe it.
Yeah.
Rob was taking the profits off any of those books. No, I can imagine. Yeah, no, I mean, crowdfunding. Like, my only complaint is I wish crowdfunding had been around when I was about 26 or 27.
Yeah.
Like there's, I could draw faster and more when I was 26. I wasn't probably as good an artist, but I had more energy. But like, crowdfunding allows you so much freedom to do what you want if you can find your audience. I mean, that's the other trick, is finding your audience, but you can find your audience. Everything's out there for you. You just got to go get it. So, I mean, for me, like, this is perfect. This is what I want to be doing. This is where I'd rather be at, like, this is kind of a dream book here. So I got no complaints. Comicsgate has been really good to me, and even though I've only been here a short time, and yeah, self-publishing is where it's at, and so is Comicsgate. So pretty stoked.
Yeah. So Clint, I want to thank you for joining me tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow on the Ot and stuff. That's how it's pronounced. Our buddy Sean. Yep. Ot and stuff. Tomorrow 9 p.m. on the Ot and Stuff channel. So thanks for joining me, Clint, and thanks for everyone in the chat for following us tonight.
See you guys.